Okay, so spare parts dealers pay taxes but herders don't. Ozekhome hits Malami. Human rights lawyer Michael Ozekhome SAN says the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Abubakar Salami SAN is wrong to compare open grazing ban in southern Nigeria with prohibition of spare parts trading in the northern part of Nigeria. According to Ozekhome, spare parts traders are civil, organized, and responsible members of the public who pay taxes, but herders do not remit any amount to the government. The lawyer made this known in a movement titled "Freedom of Movement is for Human Beings, not for Cattle and Sheep," adding that open grazing ban by southern governors was constitutional. The Punch had earlier reported that the minister lambasted the southern governors over their recent ban of open grazing in the region. About 17 governors had met last week in Asaba, the Delta State capital, and resolved to ban open grazing and movement of cattle by foot in the region, as some kidnappings and killings in the southern region have been traced to criminal elements amongst herders. But according to the AGF, open grazing ban is the same thing as northern governors banning spare parts trading in their own region, considering the fact that southerners comprise a majority of spare parts traders in the north. Reacting, Ozekhome said the northern elites, including the Honorable Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Salami SAN, missed the point solely when they compare Igbo peaceful spare part dealers who go about their normal spare parts business legitimately, building or renting their shops, with savage, maniacal AK-47 wielding herdsmen. Igbo traders do not kill or attack northerners with their stock of motor tires, rims, spanners, or chases. They do not pour petroleum from fuel tanks that they sell on Fulani herdsmen. They do not use car bumpers or windshields to smash the heads of herdsmen. How does open and street grazing of cars by fully armed foot patrolling youth, which is now clearly anachronistic, primitive, and antiquated, be likened to legitimate spare parts business being carried out in shops or designated areas, with the Igbo traders paying tenement rates, taxes, water, electricity, and light bills? Have you ever heard of any herder paying tax? How do you equate spare parts dealers with mindless violence unleashed on poor, helpless farmers in their own farms, and the destruction of their crops with reckless abandon by these rampaging nomadic pastoralists who are on a mission of conquest and expansionism? He queried. Continuing, Ozekhome said freedom of movement is only for human beings. It is not for cattle, sheep, and goats. Will the Northerners tolerate the open sale of alcoholic beverages in their state, even though it is the constitutional right of other ethnic groups to move around, about, and sell beverages of their choice? Alright, are these northern elites seriously arguing that southern state governors cannot ban open grazing in their states to protect their innocent citizens from deadly killer herdsmen? Very true. The senior advocates urged the 17 southern governors to immediately sue the federal government, invoking the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court under Section 232 of the 1999 Constitution, adding that they should ask for a determination for their right to preserve their states from insecurity. He also encouraged the state assemblies in the region to quickly ban open grazing through instrument of law. All right. So yeah, this is basically what it is. But then again, it's just like, it's just unintelligent. Again, people in powerful positions have proven to us that they do not care, that they don't take their situation seriously. And to be honest, being a Nigerian, you're sort of desensitized to these news. But when I actually thought about it, and I was like, rah, basically, obviously, we know how Pantami has been accused, but with even proof of being linked to some terrorist organizations, and of course being, the Minister for Digital Technology, and obviously with his, proactiveness in getting NINs, it did raise a lot of concern. And then the government that he works for had the audacity to defend him and say that he said certain things, well, very problematic things, when he was young. He was 33. There is no excuse. Calm down. So it's just like, at that time, it was just crazy because the proof was actually in front of us. There was audio, there was, there was audio and what do you call it, writings as well. And so it's like people can translate as well what he was saying. So it's like how can you openly defend somebody like that and say they can still remain in their position? So again, for me, that was the tipping point. I was like, whoa, if they can do that, then nothing is impossible for this government. So again, is it Liko, you know, is it Liko Malami, who is seen as well, quote unquote, the lawyer of the federation, that they're gonna check? They won't check him, of course. Everybody is a pawn in the hands of the government trying to achieve whatever agenda it is. Some of the herdsmen activities is a serious threat to us in the north, and I can't protect ourselves. I don't see no reason why serious people in the south will not protect themselves, since they are more serious than the north. My fear is that southerners should not use that to infringe on the rights of innocent and law-abiding communities residing in their midst. Right? A useless country with a useless government. What a man that failed to know the difference between legal and tax-paying trade will enjoy trekking with cows. Again, it's like, so we've moved past that. I'm not saying that you can't, graze, but like, you need to have your own land, okay? It's just very inappropriate and very bush, more like it really is. So go into the street where there's a traffic light and then you have cows. Like, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. We have to decide the kind of life we want to live. And again, in a country like Nigeria, where we're just so busy and things are just happening, we don't want to see cows on the streets. It's embarrassing. And for the fact that we have to justify or even explain why it's just inappropriate and tasteless to open graze. Like, are you not embarrassed? This is really embarrassing. Like, how can you confidently say with chest, oh, we can't ban open grazing? Again, stop taking it personally. It shows your privilege because you've never been attacked or, specifically, specifically targeted by the government, good or bad. So again, something that is meant to be a general thing that should apply to only headsmen, only herders, you're now taking it personal, taking it so serious. Like, no one asked. It's very unfortunate and wicked to observe that many Fulani herdsmen hegemony do not pay any form of tax to the government. But then it's like, again, how can the government control that they can get tax off, apart from big corporations? But then again, it's like, does an average Nigerian pay tax? Do they even earn enough to feed themselves, let alone pay tax? These are the questions that we should ask. But again, it's like Ozekhome gave a good point, because it's like, using spare parts as an example, that specific spare part, it is an ethnic slur. It really is, because we know your intentions behind it. We will analyze what you're saying. You can't run away from it. People, I think, comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe.